Back with another YouTube video, and today on my TikTok and Facebook I said I was going to do a story time of my labor and delivery. If you guys don't know, I currently was pregnant. My baby is now 2 weeks and a couple of days, about to be 3 weeks, so she is growing, but she's not even a month yet. So yeah guys, pretty much I'm just gonna do a rundown and a little story time today for you guys. I never actually did a story time on my channel, so this is something new, but I'm gonna be doing a story time for you guys today, so really hope you guys enjoy that, talking about my labor and deliveries experience. So yeah guys, all right, and we're gonna get straight into it. Alright, so pretty much on October 19th, I had an appointment at like 1. It was actually my last appointment until I'm supposed to give birth to her, because my due date is October 25th, but I ended up having her earlier, but we're gonna get into that later in the video. But yes guys, so on October 19th, I had an appointment at like 1, and they checked me. I was 3 centimeters dilated, guys, and actually that morning my mucus plug came out, so before I went to the appointment, I actually used the bathroom, my mucus plug was coming out, and I'm like, okay, so we're getting somewhere, because usually when your mucus plug comes out, it means you're soon to give labor. This is my first pregnancy, so I didn't know pretty much nothing about it, so I was just asking my family and stuff like that, like, is that a sign, or like, you know, what does that mean? So yeah, I guess it means that you're gonna be giving labor soon. So yeah, so basically, I was telling the doctors that my mucus plug came out and I was 3 centimeters dilated, and that whole day I was pretty much cleaning and resting. So yeah, I was cleaning and resting, and then I really want to hit like 8 p.m. I decided to do a YouTube video. I was gonna show you guys my workout that I do to help my pelvic open, and I do this workout like every day, or if not every day, every other day, or every 2 days. It depends on how I'm feeling, because I was getting really like lazy as I was getting closer to labor. So yes guys, so I ended up doing a YouTube video that night. I was so excited to upload and everything like that. So pretty much I just recorded my workout that I do, and that's also on my channel, so you guys can go check that out. I'll put it in my description, you guys can go check that out. It's recently posted, but yeah guys, so go check that out. And actually I did end up going into labor that night, which was crazy. I wasn't trying to induce my labor or anything like that, guys. This is just, again, a workout that I do every day to just help open up my pelvic, to help, you know, just also to help me get strength, because once I go into labor, I know I'm gonna need all the strength, especially for those contractions, girl. But yeah, so pretty much I would do those workouts every day and stuff like that. So I wanted to show you guys and share that experience with you guys, if you guys didn't know what workouts to do while pregnant, which they're safe pregnancy workouts. So if you're pregnant, they are totally safe to do, guys. So I ended up going into labor like an hour later after that. So I did that video at like 8 o'clock, and then after I probably was doing it for like 48 minutes, and then after that I actually laid down and rest to edit my YouTube video. And I was watching YouTube videos, and then I was like going back and forth and editing the videos so I could post it for you guys as soon as possible. And then next thing you know, I'm just laying on the bed, and I just feel this gush of warm liquid come out, and I'm just like, I'm laying there, but I quickly like try to get off the bed, but I didn't want to get off too quickly, because I didn't want all that to get on the bed. So I'm like getting off the bed, and then it just keeps coming out, and I'm just sitting there like, and my partner was currently in the living room playing the game and talking to his brother. So I didn't know how to react, because this is my first pregnancy again, guys, but I knew that my water broke. Like, I knew that I didn't pee on myself. Like, it was just common sense. Like, I knew I didn't pee on myself, and it was uncontrollable. Like, I couldn't control the liquid coming out of me. That's how I knew that my water broke. And I'm just like, so I yelled, yeah, like right after I got off the bed and it kept coming out, then I yelled out at my partner, and I'm like, my water broke, love, like, oh my goodness. And at the same time I was in shock. But yeah, so he's like, what? So he's like, hold up. So he gets off the phone with his brother, and then he comes in the room and it's still coming out. And then I go in the living room and I put my towel down on the couch, because I don't want to get it everywhere. So I was sitting there, and then pretty much I didn't know if we should go to the hospital like right then and there, because it was water break. They still don't go to the hospital, they kind of wait at home. But I had to go to the hospital because I was actually strep B positive. So they said if my water breaks, then I have to go straight to the hospital because it can affect the baby or something like that. So yeah, we call his stepmom, and you know, she's like, you know, we're like, what do we do? But we're like, yeah, we have to go to the hospital because the doctors were saying when my water breaks, we have to go to the hospital. So I'm like, we should just go, and if they send us home, then they send us home, you know. But yeah, so I changed my pants. I don't know why it still was coming out. I was in the car and it was still coming out, but he was like rushing. My partner was rushing. Like, I was still sitting on the couch with the towel, and it just kept coming out, guys. Like, I couldn't control it, and it just kept coming. Like, it just kept coming, and he's trying to grab everything. We had her diaper bag packed already. We had my hospital bag packed. He had his clothes that he was bringing, and then he was just setting, you know, he was just grabbing the bags and everything like that, and making sure he had everything. He also went in the kitchen to grab some snacks, and next thing you know, we head out the door. And I don't know, this whole time I was just in shock. I didn't know how to feel, guys. Like, it was very uncomfortable. I admit it was very uncomfortable. I didn't like the feeling of it, but yeah, I was just breathing. And actually, I forgot to mention, that day I was having contractions. When I was recording that video of me doing the workout, I was having contractions, but it wasn't as intense. Like, they were just little baby contractions, and my stomach would get tight when I had them, but nothing too serious. So that's how I knew, like, I'm getting very close. So yeah, guys, so we head out the door, and we're driving. He's driving, and I'm breathing, and I'm just like, let me not freak out because I don't know how to feel. But like, obviously I knew my water broke, and like, there's really nothing for me to be worried about, you know, as long as I feel fine and everything like that. So we get to the hospital, and they put us in this room, and it's not the labor delivery room, it's just like a room. And then they check me, and they monitor the baby and everything like that. They're asking me questions and everything like that. And then sooner or later, guys, we headed to the labor and delivery room, and I was believe like still 3 centimeters dilated, but I was like 3 to 4, so like basically almost 4 centimeters dilated. And it was nighttime again, guys. My water broke at 9 something that night. So when we got to the hospital, it was still around 9, because like I said, it was very quick. He had everything, we had everything packed, so we just like went. We were in the labor delivery room and just waiting for me to dilate and everything like that. They also had like a nice tub set up in there for me. They said if I want to go in there to relax, I can. And the tub actually was kind of like a jacuzzi tub, because it had like the little bubble coming out of the side of it. So and then they had like little fake candles in there that had light. And then yeah, so I mean, it was a really nice room, and it made me feel really comfortable. So like, I pretty much was doing fine. I was still like losing some fluid, but not as much as the first time the water broke. I think that night I did end up going in the tub, and my partner sat in there with me, and I was just like, I was having contractions, so I was just like breathing. Again, they weren't as painful. I was only like 4 centimeters dilated, so they weren't like super painful, guys, but I could feel it. So yeah, so I went in the tub, and I was relaxing in there and everything like that. And then next thing you know, like, it's getting really late, and I'm just like, I can't sleep. My partner, I think he naps, but I can't sleep because of my contractions were just getting stronger. And I think I did take like a little nap, but not really. But pretty much my partner was helping me walk around the labor and delivery room. And also they had to put an IV in me for antibiotics, because I was strep B positive, like I mentioned not that long ago. So they had to for sure do that so it wouldn't affect the baby. So yeah, I was hooked up to IV, but it was like I could pull it with me. So we were just walking around the room trying to, you know, help me dilate faster and everything like that. So my plan was to do it natural, a vaginal birth, and no medication. As I tell the story, we'll see how it played out. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I was so big on going natural and doing this the natural way. I didn't even want to have to take the antibiotics, but I had to for my baby's safety, because she could have got sick. But I really didn't want to, but I did. So yeah, that night was kind of like, you know, just quick that night because it was like getting so late. But I was walking around. I was also resting. And the next day my mom and them end up coming. My mom and my sister, I live like an hour away from me, so I didn't think it was gonna happen, but my mom made it up here and up where we lived in our area, and they gave me a peanut ball and I was sitting on the peanut ball. They also gave me a yoga ball and I was sitting on there. I was doing all different types of positions, guys. Like literally I was trying to dilate. I was really trying. Like I wasn't feeling too well and I wasn't feeling too energized, but I still got up and, you know, moved around. My partner was really like holding on to me, so he was really there being very supportive. I'm so thankful for him. But yeah, so I was sitting on the peanut ball, I was on the yoga ball, I was leaning on the bed and stuff like that. So I was doing a lot of different things trying to open my pelvic, and they came around maybe like 3 or 4, my mom, my sister. And then when they got there, my contractions really started to pick up, like really started to pick up. Oh my goodness, guys, it was getting so painful. But I'm not gonna lie, not as painful as I thought. But they checked me when my mom and them got there, and I believe I was like 5 to 6 centimeters dilated, so I was progressing and I was happy about that. I believe like 2 hours went by and they checked me again and I was still at 6 centimeters, guys, and they were telling me that they think they're gonna have to put me on Pitocin because my labor wasn't progressing as fast. But I think I was doing pretty well. I didn't want to, guys. Again, I wanted to do this natural. I wanted to go through natural contractions. If you don't know what Pitocin is, you can look it up, but it basically makes your contractions start up and it makes them go faster and closer together and harder. So they're not really natural contractions, but they help contract you to dilate basically faster in a way. So I told the doctors, I was like, can we wait? Like, can we at least wait an hour? I want to see if I can try to progress faster by myself. Like, just give me more time, you know. And they were kind of iffy about it, but you know, I'm the patient here, I'm the one laboring, so like anything I say pretty much they're gonna have to respect. But yeah, and then they end up checking me again and I was like 6 centimeters. After that 2 hours or that 1 hour, I was still at 6 centimeters. So at that point I just had to keep Pitocin, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, you know, my family was telling me to get it and my partner was like, you know, just get it, you know, it's, you know, we want her to come soon. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. And then they were just checking me like every 2 hours, every hour and stuff like that. Pretty much at this point I was just going through those contractions, and my partner and my mom were actually massaging like the bottom of my back to help with the pressure, which helped a lot, guys. I really recommend, if you're trying to go natural, to have your whoever you have as your support system, to have them like do massages on your back or put pressure just somewhere around your back, because the pressure was actually helping. Like when the contractions would come and they were like to massage my back and put pressure on it, it kind of helped me not really like focus on the contraction pain and more focus on, you know, their pressure that they were pushing down on my back. So that helped a lot. That helped me get through so many of my contractions, guys. I don't know if I could have got through if I didn't have no one to do that, but they were really willing to do that for me, guys. So, and the doctor was saying like, if you do that, that can help. So my partner just stepped up. He was like, okay, like, and we just tried it and it worked really good. So yeah, they just did like little massages on my back. Like they used 2 of their fingers at the bottom of my back and just like massaged it and put pressure on it, and that helped a lot. Like it really helped a lot, guys. So yeah, they were checking me still every hour and everything like that. And then I was dilating. I started to hit 7, and I was just like talking to my family and stuff like that. When I wasn't having contractions, we were just laughing and talking and stuff like that. And they had to leave soon, so like we were hoping that, you know, she came when they were still there, because my mom wanted to see that and she wanted to have that experience. So yeah, pretty much we were just waiting it out, and it started to get darker and darker and darker. And then yeah, so I was at 7 centimeters dilated, guys. And then I was resting because like I was walking around all day, guys. Literally I was like walking around all day on the peanut ball, on the yoga ball. Like I was just out of breath like at this point. So like for like a good hour actually was like resting on the bed. And also I was like leaning on the bed, like where you put your head. It's like putting my arms there and kind of like squatting, and I was rocking my hips back and forth with every contraction, because at this point my contractions were back to back, guys. Like, they were back to back. Once again, they weren't as painful as I imagined, but they were painful, and they started to get unbearable. But I thought they would be so painful where I couldn't breathe. But I think I was having back labor. If you guys don't know what that is, I was feeling a lot of pressure on my back, and like down there, like a lot of pressure on my back down there, like so bad. Like, it felt like something was trying to pull through. So I believe I was having back labor. But every time I had a contraction, I just felt so much pressure and aching pain right there. But I was just ready for her to come. Like, every contraction, I'm just like, you know, she's getting closer, she's gonna be here. And I just couldn't wait. And me and my mom, my sister, my partner were just talking about everything and just talking about stuff and trying to keep me distracted. So at this point, it was dark. It was probably like 7, 8, and like I was still squatting at the edge of the bed. Every contraction, I was moving my hips back to back. And then at this point, I just could not take, like, for some reason the pain was just like, at this point I'm like, I don't know if I can, you know, push her out, you know, without any medicine. And that's mainly what I was worried about, because at this point, like, the contractions were so painful and they were back to back. Like, I wasn't getting no break. Like, I would like rest for a little and then I have to go back to doing squatted positions and rocking my hips, because the contractions would come, and then they could start to get back to back and closer. So at this point I was like, they checked me at that time and I was 8 centimeters dilated, guys. So I was very close, guys. So yeah, pretty much I just gave out and I was like, I'm gonna get the epidural. My mom and them really didn't want me to. I didn't want to. My whole plan was not to. I just hear a lot about epidural and the back problems it brings, and you know, all the worries that come with it. And I was very much worried of getting the epidural, but just couldn't bear the pain. I'm just like, I think I should get it, like, before it gets too late. I was already 8 centimeters dilated, so I was very close. So I felt more confident that I was more close than if I was not that close dilated. I probably wouldn't have got it. I would have waited it out. My partner, he was like, okay, yeah, like, you know. So my mom and my sister had to leave the room, and the person came in with the epidural, and my partner got to be in there with me. He was holding my hand, and I was literally crying because, like I said, guys, I was scared to get the epidural. Like, I was crying. I was so worried about so many different obstacles. And when he put it in my back, it wasn't painful. I wasn't really scared of the needle or anything like that. I was more scared of, like, being paralyzed, or like how I was gonna react to that kind of medicine. I was just crying the whole time, and then I had to stay still when I was having a contraction too, when they're about to do it. I'm just like, can we wait until the contraction goes away? Because, like, it was making me move around. So he waited, and then he did it quick, fast, easy. I was still crying because I don't know. I'm just kind of anxious person. And my partner was holding my hand. He was like, it's okay, you know, you're gonna be okay. And I was just over freaking out at this point. I was really just over freaking out. I was just like just so scared that I was gonna be paralyzed. So yeah, and they ended up leaving. My mom and sister got to come back in the room. I guess that many people couldn't be in the room when I was getting it. It was just me, my partner, and then the people who were doing it. But yeah, so then they end up coming back in the room, and I'm just laying there on the bed. At this point, I can't really like walk because I have the epidural in my back, but I was laying down in the bed. I was like crying, and also, guys, I was having the uncontrollably like shaking. Like, I forgot to call the shakes. I was having that a lot. Like, that day I was like shaking so much, and they said that can happen. Some moms get the shakes in labor, and I definitely got the shakes, and I was just like shaking so uncontrollably. It was weird. Like, I just couldn't control, like, I was just shaking all over, and I just couldn't control it. The doctor was like telling me, like, you know, I got it too, you know, it's fine, like, you're gonna be okay and everything like that. So probably a couple minutes went by, and they checked me. Not even, probably like a minute. So right after they gave me the epidural, guys, after a minute after they gave me epidural, they had to check me. Or maybe like 2 minutes after they gave me epidural, and she was like, you're 10 centimeters dilated, like, you can start pushing. And I'm just like, what? And she's like, yeah, you're ready. Like, and then the doctor comes in, and they, you know, set it all up and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting here in shock. Like, they just checked me. Before I got the epidural, they checked me. I was 8 centimeters dilated. It took probably like 5 minutes to get the epidural for them to put it in me, and it was just like quick and fast. So then plus the 2 minutes after I got the epidural, which is probably like 6 minutes. So in 6 minutes, I dilated from 8 centimeters to 10, guys. So like, if I wouldn't have got the epidural, most likely I would have dilated that fast too, and I would have to be ready to push. And that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted to do this natural, guys, but I just felt like I was just worried about the pushing part. Like, can I do it? Like, it's gonna feel so painful. So that's what I was worried about. I was just ready to push, and she was ready to come, and my sister, my mom, and them were standing by me by the bed, and my partner, and the other doctor was holding one of my legs, and my mom was holding, no, my sister was holding my other leg. And because I couldn't feel my legs, guys, my legs were numb. Like, they were numb at this point. I couldn't feel them, so they had to set my legs up high, and you know, they had to hold my legs so ready for me to push. So they were telling me to push every contraction, and I kind of knew when I was having the contractions. I couldn't feel my legs down there or anything like that, but I kind of knew because like up by my ribs, for some reason I was feeling like pressure. Like, it felt like she was trying to like push, like the baby was trying to push up my rib. Like, it felt like I felt a lot of pressure like underneath by my ribs, and it was hard. Like, it was getting hard. So the doctor was touching it. She's like, okay, here's a contraction, now you can start pushing. So I had to breathe and then push, guys, and sister had to like move because she couldn't really handle it. So my mom, she grabbed my other leg for a second, and they were just like telling me, like, everyone was just telling me like, you're doing so good, like, push. And it was kind of blurred, guys, I admit, but like I couldn't feel nothing. Like, well, I felt that pressure by my ribs, but I couldn't feel her down there. I felt like some pressure, and I could feel like, for some reason, I could feel like when I was pushing, I could feel like she was coming like lower and lower and lower. I probably pushed like 7, 8 times, maybe 9 times, and she was out, guys. And oh, actually, I forgot to, my mom had to move too because she was just feeling like she was gonna pass out. So my mom had to move, so my partner took my leg, and he's kind of iffy about blood and stuff like that. Yeah, he basically had to get my other leg, and he literally like watched the whole process. And I was surprised because he said, you know, he didn't know if he was going to, because you know, he's just like, it's just something about blood with him and like seeing stuff like that. Yeah, so I pushed probably like 7 times, maybe 9 times, and she came out, guys. And I literally pushed in less, she literally came out less than an hour, guys. And I was so surprised because this is my first pregnancy, and I don't know, like, some moms push 2 hours, 3 hours. Like, I just didn't want to go through that. That's why, like, that whole day I was being so active, and I was moving so much because I'm like, yeah, like, I'm gonna try to move as much as I can, and I'm gonna try to get up and walk around, do whatever I have to do, get on the yoga ball, the peanut ball. So I'm glad that they had those options, and they provided me with those things. So yeah, she comes out, and they're rubbing her, and then they put her on my chest, and we did skin to skin, guys. And she was so cute and so small, and she like cried when she came out for a little bit, for like a second, and then she was like looking around the room, and my mom and them were saying that. And then my partner, my sister, said that she smiled, and they seemed like dimples, like her little dimples, you know. She's like, oh. And I was kind of in shock. That whole thing was kind of blurred, guys, but I'm just playing it the best way I can. But I just know they put her on my chest, and I was just like looking at her, and I'm just like, oh, like, I was just ready to cry, guys. Like, bro, I like was getting so emotional. She was so cute and small, and my mom and them were like taking pictures, stuff like that. And everyone was just happy. I'm just so glad that like they were still there when she came, because my mom and them did have to leave that night. Again, they live kind of far, so like I wanted them to get home safe and not too late. But I had her at 9:45, guys. So yeah, it was that late, not super late, but it was that late. It was dark outside and everything like that. I'm really glad my mom and them sticked around. And my partner, of course, he was going to be there with me the whole time. Yeah, so then my mom and them, you know, they give me a hug and stuff like that. And then they like head out probably a couple minutes after. Well, I totally forgot, guys. So when they put her on my chest and everything like that, the doctor was literally, she took on my placenta, didn't feel it. And that's what I was scared to feel, but I didn't feel it because I was still numb down there. And then she said I teared. She told me that I teared. I don't know how bad. I don't remember, but she told me I teared, and she stitched me up right there the whole time that I had the baby on me and stuff like that. And my sister and my mom were still there. So yeah, so a little bit after that, when the doctors left and they grabbed her and measured her, like her weight and stuff like that, my mom and them left, so they gave me a hug and everything like that. Happy that they got to see that. My mom was so happy. She really wanted to be there when she was there so she could see the baby, so, and my sister too. They ended up weighing the baby, and she actually weighed 6 pounds and 6 lbs and 5.7 ounces. I remember off my head, and I also took a picture. I'm gonna probably put that picture in here. But yeah, she was a very small baby, but not super small, but I'm just glad that she was healthy. Pretty much I was just sitting there just resting and waiting. So I felt like I did pretty good. I handled things pretty well. I'm just so thankful, so glad that she's here and that no harm happened to me and her, that we are both healthy. All praises to the Most High. But yeah, we are very much here, and pretty much I'm doing the motherhood now. So yeah guys, so they left, and then I just sat there and rest, and my partner sitting there, we're waiting, stuff like that, for them to send us to the postpartum room, guys. So yeah guys, pretty much that is my labor and delivery story, guys. So yes, I did get the epidural. I got it when I was 8 centimeters dilated, and then 6 minutes later I was 10 centimeters dilated and ready to push her out after I got the epidural. And yeah, pretty much I was basically going unmedicated until I hit 8 centimeters dilated. So everyone was just telling me like, dang, like, I don't know how you did that, like, you were so strong. My mom's like, you're strong. And I'm just like, she's like, you made it to 8 centimeters dilated. Like, that's when, like, some moms, you know, can't handle it when they're 5 centimeters dilated, 4, like, you know, but every mom's different. But I'm just glad. I really just wanted to push through. My plan was to go natural, but it didn't work out that way. But I'm just so glad that you know, I made it that far and got to experience the whole thing, guys. But yeah guys, so that is it. That is my labor delivery story. If you guys have any questions, you guys can comment down below if I didn't answer anything, or you guys have any more questions. So yes, I did tear. They stitched me up. They took out my placenta. I didn't keep my placenta. Yeah, and she was here, and she had a lot of hair too, guys. When she came out, she had a lot of hair. So yeah, it was cute. She has a lot of hair. I didn't think she would have that much hair because I didn't have that much heartburn when I was pregnant, but I did have acid reflux. I just didn't have heartburn. Everyone was asking me, and I'm like, no, I didn't really have heartburn. But she took him out with a lot of hair. Maybe like 40-30 minutes later, then we got sent to the postpartum room, and we were at the hospital for 3 days after I had her. They're feeding her, and I was feeding her. I was actually pumping and giving her my breast milk. Right now I formally feed her, but for like a week and some days I was feeding her my breast milk, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna do a video on that next, probably like why I changed the formula, or like if you guys want me to do any more videos about a certain topic, I can. But yeah guys, so that is my labor delivery story, and it was a really good experience. I'm so glad that I got to experience that. It was just amazing, crazy, and also like I was going through pain and stuff like that, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that I had a peaceful labor and delivery, but I think that I was more positive than I thought I would have been. Like, I was really being more positive about the situation, which I feel like helped me get through it and helped me a lot, guys. I'm 20, and I actually got pregnant with her when I was 19. I'm pretty young. I'm a really small girl, so it's like I was just worried about all obstacles, guys, but like it went pretty smooth. And you know, I did experience a lot of pain because of contractions and the whole process, but I just really feel like I had a good labor experience story. Like, it wasn't traumatizing, and you know, I'm glad it wasn't traumatizing. I could do a story time about my postpartum experience, which was traumatizing. So yeah, that was very traumatizing. Like, after I had her, for some reason I felt the worst in my life. But I will do another video on that, guys, if you guys want that. Pretty much that is it, and that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time today. This is my first story time on my channel, guys. I did a video of day in a life with a newborn, so if you guys want to see what she looks like and everything like that, you guys can go watch that video. I'll put that in the description as well. So yeah guys, go check that out, guys. And we're gonna head out of here. So yeah guys, thank you for watching this video, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I am out, guys. All right, bye.